This is the Sonos Ray, the latest soundbar from Sonos. A portable, sleek, all-in-one soundbar that packs impressive sound for your movies, TV shows, and music, as well as integrating into the Sonos app, allowing for built-in streaming through AirPlay, sound profiles, and trueplay, which tunes the sound to your specific room. But the question is this the best soundbar you can get for $279? Well, let's find out. As always, I will leave all the purchase links down in the description. The Sonos Ray comes in two colors, black and white. I chose black to best match my TV. I always appreciate highly recyclable paper packaging. Two pull tabs to open, and inside the box we have the Sonos Ray wrapped in a nice cloth. We also get a box which houses the power cable. Good to see no external power brick is needed. And finally, we get a quick start guide and optical audio cable. No HDMI cable. In fact, there is no support for HDMI at all, unlike with some other soundbars. Let's unwrap the Ray, set it up, and take a closer look. So setting up the Ray involved a few steps. After plugging it in, you have to download the Sonos app, where you need to create an account, activate, connect, and update the Ray to finally start using it. This is more steps than I'd like to see, but with the intuitive app, this only took around 10 minutes and only needs to be done once. Plus, the app does allow for some pretty cool extra features, which we'll look at in a sec. But right away, I do like that you can use your existing TV remote with the Ray, so no need for extra remotes. When it comes to the design, the Ray is definitely smaller compared to other soundbars in its class, especially in terms of the width. I would say in terms of the height, this soundbar is just about average, and then in terms of the depth, it is just above average. Now, this overall much smaller form factor is great if you have a smaller TV or a smaller size living room. So I have a 48-inch TV, and I like how unobtrusive the Ray is compared to other soundbars. It also leaves more room on my TV console and works out especially well for my setup, as I have my TV slightly angled towards the sofa. The Ray features a matte plastic finish going all around, as well as having a plastic grille to cover the front-facing speakers, which also has a subtle Sonos branding. The back has a power button and power, optical, and Ethernet inputs. And the top has touch-sensitive controls, which are reliable and easy to use. The controls are also easy to see, since the matte finish on the top of the Sonos won't reflect your TV screen. Before we get into the sound and features, if you are enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for your support. Alright, let's talk about the sound, and this is where the Ray really impressed me. Now, before I talk about my thoughts on the sound, let's do a quick audio comparison comparing my TV's built-in speakers to the Ray. If you're thinking of buying the iPhone 13, then this is the video for you. With improved cameras, brighter display, smaller notch, A15 processor, bigger battery, and more. As you can hear, the Sonos Ray really packs a punch. The sound profile reminds me a bit of Bose's sound signature, and to many, this will be a good thing. I would characterize this by having crisp and detailed highs, as well as thumpy, clean lows. Speaking of which, for an all-in-one design, the Ray has some really good bass, even some sub-bass. Not house-shaking bass, but definitely enough to fill a medium-sized room. When it comes to the mids, at times I did find myself wanting for a bit more, and as a result, I found myself having to listen at a slightly higher volume. Speaking of which, up till around 50% volume, all the frequencies remain proportionate. However, going beyond 50%, you can start to see some of the lower frequencies kind of fall off, and this is not uncommon for all-in-one soundbars such as the Ray. At the same time though, there is no distortion even at higher listening volumes. Don't let its size fool you, the Ray gets really loud. 40% is plenty for listening in a medium-sized living room, and I found myself never really having to listen anywhere louder than around 60% volume. This is really impressive. And now onto the only downside when it comes to sound, Soundstage. So soundstage refers to how wide the sound is, and in this category, while the Ray did perform better than I initially expected, it is still limited by its more narrow width. Compared to other bigger, more wider soundbars, you can hear the sound coming from a more narrow source, as opposed to getting that more 3D and immersive feel that you get with some other soundbars. Now, is this a deal breaker? I think absolutely not, but it is something worth mentioning. Overall, I am happy with the sound that the Ray provides. It is a great all-rounder. In movies, finer details like the rustle of the leaves as the main character walks through a forest, to the big explosions in a final battle scene, all sound really good. Music of all genres too sounds great on the Ray. Vocals are clear, and for more bass-heavy genres like rap and house, you really get that thump. To add to the sound experience, the Ray, like Sonos' other products, integrates to their ecosystem as well as the app. And the app is pretty neat. It allows you to connect your Ray to Wi-Fi. This way you can play and stream music right to the Ray without having to turn on your TV, acting almost like a big Bluetooth speaker. The app also uses trueplay. This does require an iPhone and uses the mics on your phone to tune the sound specifically to your room. After setting up trueplay, I found it increased the mids ever so slightly and decreased the lows to create what I believe is a more neutral sound profile. The EQ can be adjusted in the app to control the bass and treble. It also has some sound presets, including night mode, which will limit the bass and lower frequencies to not wake those around you, as well as having speech enhancement mode, which emphasizes the highs and mids to really bring out vocals. This is useful if, say, you have hearing difficulties. Through the app, it is also possible to add other Sonos speakers to your setup, a subwoofer or rear left and right channels. And while I think it is nice to have this option, considering the high price of adding speakers and the sound that the Ray already provides on its own, I don't really think this is necessary. So the question is the Sonos Ray worth it? While it doesn't have things like Dolby Atmos support or eARC, these are things you won't find at this price point. If you're looking for a portable, all-in-one soundbar that won't break the bank and that delivers uncompromising, room-filling sound, not just for your movies and TV shows, but also music, as well as having modern features and app integration, then the Sonos Ray is a soundbar that I can highly recommend, and for the price is hard to beat. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, I will leave the purchase links down in the description. If you haven't seen them yet, I highly recommend watching my Sony WH-1000 XM5 review, as well as my HomePod mini review. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.